quickly introduce the idea of mindset. It comes out of Carol Dweck's book by the same name, Mindset. And she sort of outlines two styles of thinking, more of a growth mindset versus more of a fixed mindset. And I don't think that we are either one or the other. We have a sort of a mix of both in different scenarios, but we probably have a tendency to one or the other. And we see it as a kid, and we sort of solidify that for the future. What I'd like is for us to maintain as much as possible a growth mindset. It's a perspective. It's a way of looking at things. It's almost like a lens to look at life through. And I'm going to quickly outline it and then go into some detail next time. So let's start with growth mindset. Growth mindset looks at every scenario as an opportunity, as a learning experience, as a way to challenge yourself, but also to grow. Whereas a fixed mindset looks at every scenario as sort of an assessment of worth. A challenge is maybe a warning to back off. When you get to something, it's sort of the end. There's no real, like, you either win or you lose. And somebody with a fixed mindset tends to shy away from challenging themselves. Whereas someone with a growth mindset will take a risk, may not do well, but still will look at that as a positive learning experience and use that to grow moving forward. Whereas a fixed mindset, like, that was no good, I didn't want to feel that way, I'm not going to continue. So a really easy example to use is when you're in school and the teacher asks, hey, what is the answer to this question? And you know the answer. You probably have the right answer, but you're afraid to answer because you don't want to be wrong. Because you're worried that if you're wrong, that means there's something wrong with you. And it's sort of like, okay, instead of challenging yourself and answering that question, you just back off from it. And then you don't ever have to feel bad about not knowing the answer. You could have felt good because you knew the answer, but you were more worried about feeling bad. Whereas a growth mindset person will just answer that question. They may or may not be wrong or right. And then whatever the response is, they can learn from it and continue to grow. So I will talk about this more in the future, but it's suffice to say that if you look at any sort of detours, measurements, habits that you're struggling with as a fixed end result, then you're going to feel bad and you're probably not going to continue. But if you look at it as an opportunity to learn, to dive into it, to analyze and to grow, then you're more likely to succeed. So I want you to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, because that is going to help you get to your end goal.